This is going to be federal police in pursuit on the 405 South, just crossed over the Venice Boulevard exit. This is the pursuit vehicle right there in the center of your shot. It's going to be that white Kia Soul. Again, this is federal police in pursuit, not something we typically see here in Southern California, but CHP is also very close by. It's unclear if they're going to try to take control of this pursuit here. This is, again, on the 405 South, traveling very slowly. We've seen this driver driving on the right shoulder at times, but never too quickly. Again, 405 South near the Venice Boulevard exit. It's unclear why federal police are pursuing this vehicle, but we started hearing this pursuit approximately 15 minutes ago. They've been very low-key about it on the scanner, so it took us a little bit to try to locate this here. Finally located it here on the 405 South. Again, CHP not saying too much about it over their scanner, and federal police, of course, is not a frequency that we can hear on our police scanners up here in News Chopper 4, but we finally located it here at the 405 South at Venice Boulevard. Again, unclear why federal police are in pursuit, but you can see that that driver is now driving here on the right shoulder, trying to get past some of that slower moving traffic here on this Friday afternoon on the 405 freeway. We're just north of LAX, of course, so that's could explain why we're seeing a lot of this slowdown here on the 405. Again, this white Kia Soul being pursued by federal police, and I can tell you that CHP is now also directly behind the vehicle. Again, it's unclear why they are pursuing, but you can see that this driver is starting to pick up speed. Check, Colleen. We have no information at this time about the driver, but you can see that the driver there is sticking his or her hand out of the driver's side window, perhaps motioning to us up here in News Chopper 4. There is also a police helicopter from the LAPD who has just joined over the pursuit, but again, we have no information as to why federal police would be pursuing this driver. Again, we don't typically see federal police pursuing on our Southern California highway, so this is definitely something that we haven't seen, at least not in the very near future, or in the recent past rather. But again, driving here on the 405 South, using that right shoulder to get by, I would love to know really why the federal police are pursuing this vehicle, because again, it's not something that we are typically used to. CHP now just directly behind this suspect vehicle. Again, a pursuit that's making its way southbound on the 405, which means that we will be approaching LAX. We'll try to stick with this as long as we can. Of course, sometimes LAX will not let us into their airspace, so we're going to try to do our best to maintain visual of this pursuit as it makes its way south on the 405. Yeah, Chuck, let's try to figure this out here. I'm going to use my doubler, and I'm going to increase the gain here so that we can see what it says on the side of that vehicle. And of course, I have a very small monitor up here in News Chopper 4, so I may need you guys to try to help me figure this out. But I think it says Homeland Security, if I'm not mistaken. You can see that logo there on the driver's side of the federal police vehicle. Yeah, that's going to be southbound 405, as you said, Colleen, around the 90 freeway, around the Marina freeway. And as you can see now, it's going to be CHP directly behind this vehicle. Of course, CHP, they patrol our highways. They are probably best suited to continue this pursuit here on the 405. Federal police, though, they're sticking around as well, but you can see them there, a couple cruisers behind. I see at least 2 units from the Federal Police Department still pursuing this vehicle as well, but you can see that the CHP has in fact taken the lead here on this pursuit on the 405 South, again approaching the 90, the Marina Del Rey freeway. Go ahead, desk. 10-4. Okay. Guys, we're still on that southbound 405. We just crossed over the Marina Freeway. We're getting very close to LAX, so my pilot Alex was actually just giving me the heads up that in about 4 to 5 minutes we may lose sight of the vehicle as we cross over the LAX runways. We of course will try to stay with this as long as we can, but again, continuing southbound on the 405. And I mentioned you guys talking about the driver. We have gotten to take a look at her. We do believe now that it is in fact a female driver, and there are times like right now where she uses her hand to try to shield her face. Apparently she knows we're up here. She does not want to end up on TV, but it's a little too late for that. You can see her again trying to cover up her face, but of course News Chopper 4 has a great camera up here and we can continue to watch her even if she continues to try to cover up her face. Yeah, she's probably trying to either wave or wave us off, one of the two. But I mean, she's not going to. I mean, we technically don't matter at all in this situation, of course. Really, who she needs to be concerned about is the CHP, who are still pursuing her here on the southbound 405. She's sticking to that carpool lane now, which of course is going to move a little bit faster here just north of LAX. Again, we're going to come to that crucial point here where we may lose this, but we'll try to stick with this as long as we can. Again, here on the 405 freeway, we're currently over the Centinela Avenue exit, and as far as I know, it's just that female driver who is wanted for some type of altercation here at the Federal Building in West LA. Yeah, let's move. Yeah, let's go ahead and widen out the shot here so that we can see, because of course near LAX you always see that freeway start to slow down. Yeah, looks like we got through the heavier part of the slowing here, and she does have an open freeway ahead here for as long as I can see. But I mean, definitely lucky in that perspective. And we're starting to see her move over to the right, which is not something that we have seen. We've seen her just stick to the carpool lane, stick to the emergency lane as well. But now we're seeing her riding those middle lanes. Now that the freeway is starting to open up for her as she passes the Florence Avenue exit, we can see that she's now taking that center lane here on the 405 South. Yeah, still a clear road ahead of her, for her rather, as we approach LAX. So you're going to start to see our shot get a lot more distant now. What we're going to do is take News Chopper 4 over the runways of LAX, which is going to place the 405 freeway off to our left or off to our east. So we're going to try to do our best here to maintain the shot. There's going to be some buildings that are going to come in the way, so that will definitely make it a little bit more difficult for us. But as soon as we can rejoin this pursuit, which is going to be near the 105 freeway, we'll have a much better shot. Okay, thank you. Okay, sounds good. Um, I'm not sure because there will be some buildings that are going to come in the way and they will block it for a time. Once we get to the 105 though, we'll be good. It's going to be at least another 3 miles, 3 to 5 miles. Or in terms of minutes, I'd say maybe about 3 more minutes. Okay. On the 405 now, going west. I'm sorry, 105, 105 going west. Yeah, Colleen, she just got on that 105 west. So this is the highway that's going to take you over towards LAX. Yeah, so yeah, you guys are right. Yeah, that's why we're seeing all of this traffic here, because she is in the portion that's going to come to an end here. Again, the 105 will come to an end, as you come under, or rather, as you are south of the runways at LAX, and you can see that she does not want to be in that backup, so she's trying to move over to the left, trying to get past these slower moving vehicles that are simply just trying to get into the LAX area. So she was on the 405 south. That's when we had to cut away here for just a moment. And then now she's on that 105 west. It's unclear if she knew that the 105 was going to come to an end here, or if it was simply just a bad move on her part. But we're going to see what she decides to do here. Hopefully she stays away from LAX itself, but she's continuing here in that left-hand lane, trying again to get past some of these slower moving vehicles here on that 105 west. Yeah, as far as I can tell, I did see some lights. It's a little difficult to see just because of the glare. But let's see. Yeah, she's... Yeah, she's on the roundabout here. This is going to be right where the 105 comes to an end at Imperial. So I think this is going to place her to go eastbound on Imperial Highway, of course, which is a highway that runs usually just adjacent to the 105 freeway, just on the north side of it. In this case, she is currently behind this building here, so we'll try to get ahead of her here to see her when she pops out, and sure enough, here she goes, continuing eastbound here on Imperial Highway. Oh, definitely. Yeah, Imperial Highway runs almost the entire length of the 105 freeway. So if she decides to stay on Imperial, which we actually have seen her on surface streets before we were able to get on the air when she was on the 405. She was actually on Wilshire Boulevard, and she stayed on Wilshire Boulevard for quite some time. So she's not opposed to traveling on surface streets if need be. Of course, we've seen her on the freeways, and she simply just got off because the freeway she chose came to an end. But now she's on Imperial Highway, coming up to a little bit of traffic here, so we'll see what she decides to do as she approaches this intersection. Making a U-turn. Imperial Highway, west of Sepulveda. Okay, here we go. Let's see where she goes. Next to the El Pollo. This is going to be actually a commercial area here with a couple of different businesses. I just saw an El Pollo Loco, a gym in this complex as well. Again, this is going to be just off of Imperial Highway, and she may have just gone in there just to get out of some of that slower moving traffic there on westbound Imperial. What we saw her do earlier was she made a U-turn right before she got to Sepulveda because she did not like being in that traffic, and so that's how she ended up westbound again on Imperial Highway. But we see her here trying to just get away from some of that slower moving airport traffic that she encountered on Imperial Highway. Yeah, that's correct. We've only been able to see the female driver, and as far as we know, the confrontation that took place at the federal building earlier today only involved a singular female. So it'll be interesting to see if, in fact, there is anybody else in the vehicle. But as far as we know, she is the only one inside. Yeah, she's right under the tracks here, and I believe she's going to be just through Maple, and let's see if she's going to continue there. Oh yeah, continuing. Yeah, so she just went through Maple, and I'm trying to get a better cross here for you. This isn't too busy of a street here near the LAX area. Let's see, what street is it? Yeah, she just went through Maple, and we're kind of like between the and into the Raytheon building. Yeah, she's now back out. Yep. Correct, but back over where we saw her get off on that 105 freeway, but again on surface streets because she doesn't like being in traffic, so she always, yeah, another turn there behind the building there, inconveniently for us here in News Chopper 4, but we see her coming out yet again. This time I believe she's going to be heading south here, continuing at very moderate speeds. Go ahead. Yeah, this is going to be El Segundo just because it is south of LAX. So El Segundo would be our best locator at this point, again, on surface streets. And as you can see, other traffic is stopping just to take a look at what is going on. Of course, a lot of these people are simply just trying to catch a flight at LAX, and now they have this pursuit running by them as they make their way here on Douglas. And you can see that the CHP is starting to pick up speed here behind her. So some of these streets can be very wide and they can be very open. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, this is going to be Douglas and Sepulveda. Yeah, she's going to come underneath us here for just a moment, so we'll try to keep the shot. But this is actually a great opportunity for me to try to look inside and see if she has a passenger sitting in that front seat. But as far as I can tell, I can still only see that female driver as she makes her way here under the tracks, coming up to yet another intersection, blowing a red and making an interesting turn there, for lack of a better description. Oh, here we go. Wrong side of the road. Oh, this is not good. Oh, oh, please turn around. This could be very dangerous. A busy street here in the LAX area. Other cars fortunately see her. They're stopping, and she's making her way around those vehicles. But I hope she gets back on the right side of the road. This could be very bad. Yeah, back now. I think she's back on Douglas, which is the street that she was on here just a moment ago. Douglas is a north-south street that is west of the 405 freeway. It runs parallel with the 405 freeway. It's actually a great alternate to Aviation Boulevard, which is just going to be one street to the east. Continuing here, moderate speeds, but despite the slow speeds, we have seen her make some erratic moves. Yeah, it's still still on Douglas here, but she may be making a turn here onto Rosecrans. Yeah, making a left here onto Rosecrans. Let me widen out the shot so we can get a better idea of what type of area this is. As you can see, there's a lot of bigger commercial buildings here, not too much of what I would describe as a residential building where you're going to have a lot of homes and people just walking in their neighborhood. Definitely just a residential area. Yeah, we've seen her do a couple of those moves where she gets on the wrong side of the road simply to bypass some of that slower moving traffic, which is exactly what she did right there. And now she's making yet another turn. This is going to be a right-hand turn. And I'm trying to get the cross here for you here. We may get a pit maneuver here. I'm listening on the scanner, and I understand that the CHP has been authorized to pit. So in this type of case, this may be a great opportunity to do it. It's a nice wide street. Her speeds have to be, of course, under 35 miles an hour. So she may be around that area right now, perhaps a little faster. So we'll see if she gets to that sweet spot, and hopefully the CHP, if she doesn't stop on her own, hopefully the CHP can help her do that with a pit maneuver. Squeezing by those cars there. Making yet another turn. She was just on Aviation. Now she's heading, she made a right-hand turn, so she's going to be heading back towards the airport yet again. I'll try to get you the street here. It is going to be a smaller street, possibly Marine Avenue. Let me widen out the shot and we'll take a look. This particular cruiser here, I don't recognize that as CHP. It does look like it is, in fact, as you said, Colleen, El Segundo PD has joined this pursuit because we are in the El Segundo area. They're going to be best equipped to handle a pursuit on their streets. They are the ones that are going to know if a street does in fact end in a cul-de-sac, let's say, or if there's an alley adjacent to the street where the suspect may try to run. So when we have pursuits enter a new city, enter a new jurisdiction, you will typically have the police agencies from those cities join the pursuit, but of course the lead agency will typically stay with it. She's actually going to be heading to Manhattan Beach if she continues in this direction. Yeah, so she's in El Segundo, continuing westbound, making her way over towards Manhattan Beach. Very close to the ocean for those of you who are not too familiar with the area. We can see that CHP, though, getting very close. Oh, there you go, yeah. And making another turn. Sometimes turns are a great place to do a pit maneuver, but right here would also be an ideal situation, a nice wide 4-lane street with no cars anywhere that we can see here from our vantage point. So this may be the perfect opportunity to pit maneuver. We can see that the CHP is starting to try to get close to the rear portion of that vehicle, the driver's side. So we'll see if CHP is in fact successful in attempting a pit maneuver here in the El Segundo area. Oh, here we go. Oh, wrong side of the road yet again. Making that U-turn here and coming back out in the direction that we just came. So right when it seemed like CHP was maybe going to try to do a pit maneuver and that this was maybe going to try to come to an end, of course, she tried to get a step ahead of them, made that U-turn, and now we're continuing back southbound. I'm going to try, oh, and then here's yet another U-turn. What we've learned about her is she doesn't like traffic and she likes U-turns. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. There's the pit. We're going to try to get around this street here in just a moment. You can see that the CHP is getting out of their vehicles to try to apprehend this suspect, but she's not done yet. You can see her reversing there with that CHP officer right at her driver's side window. We're moving a News Chopper 4 around here. We'll try to get you the shot here in just a moment as we complete our orbit here. We can see that there are officers right at her window. I can see her hand there on the coming out of that driver's side window. We have not heard a code 4 yet, of course. We can see that they are now opening up that window. And bear with the shot here for just a moment as we complete our turn. We can see that they're talking to her. And I'm guessing at this point, yeah, no, definitely, yeah, more relaxed for sure. We typically don't see officers do that, run right up to the driver's side window. But perhaps they had some information about this suspect that we did not know up here in News Chopper 4. And perhaps that's why they felt comfortable going right up to that driver's side window and approaching this suspect. We can see her there.